boot sale season has officially begun, and you can tell because it's extremely dark outside.
Hey, look, this kind of gives me Blair Witch Project vibes, if anyone's that old and not remembers the Blair Witch Project.
Our local boot sales actually start quite early, but we haven't been going because, one, that would involve getting up, and two, that would involve getting up.
Yeah.
A lot of people ask us, actually, more so recently, do we do boot sales? Like, boot sales aren't our thing, and boot sales are very much our thing. We are boot sale connoisseurs of the highest kind. We just didn't film a lot last year.
Do you know what? We did, though. Go back and watch the videos. There's plenty of boot
But
sales there.
not a huge amount.
I just think because of where we are in the country, our boot sales start, like, now.
And
like,
I also think it was so early in the morning that sometimes you just don't want to put a camera on in front of your chest.
Well, I was just going to say, our boot sales just started kind of like the last maybe month, I don't know, maybe 3-4 weeks ago, the last 3-4 weeks. And we've been all over the shop the last couple of weekends, so we haven't been able to. But this is the first one we've hit. We're going to be doing a lot more, obviously. Still charity shops, still everything else coming. But once again, we're going to try and hit some of these as well. This is the first of two. We'll have another one tomorrow. But this was the first one.
This boot sale is one of my favourites. However, it is reseller dense. I mean, like, that's not a bad thing. There's a lot of like local shopkeepers that come like to stock their vintage shops. There's a lot of like what I call very professional house clearances that actually have very good stuff.
Yeah.
They like cater it to their audience.
Their audience, yeah.
But it's not expensive, but you know, it is what it is.
Yeah,
so
you can see that by the footage, actually.
it's not competitive as such. Like, that's a weird thing to say. But it's sort of like, I feel other resellers feel the presence of resellers here. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get it. I know what you're saying.
You're aware that there's
course.
a lot of resellers here, you know?
I would say, like, some of which you see kind of regularly, some of which you see, like, once every couple of years. But, like, yeah, they're definitely out there.
Also, be warned, when we do boot sales, we do pick up a wider range of items. Mainly bread and butter to flip, mainly nostalgic vintage items that we put on our Depop's, etc.
For example, these two, the caps I've just picked up.
Which is more of Austin's sort of expertise, if I'm honest, because he hits that nostalgic bone really well. But however, I'm sure it will appeal to a lot of a wider audience. Does that make sense? Rather than just our luxury heads.
And don't get me wrong, we can pick up a luxury wear if and when we can, and we do really well with that too at boot sales. But it's something that you see kind of less of at boot sales, to be really honest, just across the board. However, on the flip side, if you do find something which is kind of incredible, sometimes you do get the like real bargains.
And we'll let you know about that too. Anyway, is that Terminator?
That was a Mad Terminator 2 like clay thing which you painted yourself.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
Austin found two socks. Oh my goodness.
I found 2 socks.
Austin found 2 hats. One is a Stone Cold Steve Austin 1998. If anyone knows Austin, he's obviously called Austin, so he has a lot of like deep hardcore feelings towards Stone Cold. And the other one is a 90s Tasmania hat. I love selling Looney Tunes stuff. Sells really well on Depop, especially Tasmania stuff.
The one really cool thing about that cap, not the Stone Cold one, the Taz one, is the fact that style of hat, they did like a whole range of sports hats, like from the Lakers, the Bulls, even like some of the football teams like Cowboys and stuff. They were so popular kind of in this like late, kind of mid to late 90s. And then they would kind of be taken off, if you want, by like all the like Disney Looney Tunes would kind of copy that style. It was kind of like almost a street style, if you can imagine. So they're really quite rare.
How much did you pay?
I paid, I want to say £1 each.
And they will go for about 50 each, although Austin is personally, he's keeping the Stone Cold.
The Stone Cold one's going in the collection. It's a 98 hat. It's a cool hat. It's like near mint condition. The other hat will be for sale for around about £35 to £40.
Oh, I said 50. I jumped the gun.
You did.
Oh, sorry about that.
But I don't hate your prices, lady. I can't lie.
Well, I'm going to put it up 50 and see what happens.
The actual clothing here, there was a few bits and pieces, but nothing to really write home about, if I'm honest. That's the only thing I would say about this particular boot sale. It's a certain kind of seller. Like you just said, a lot of house clearances, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So you either find kind of bulk, what I call kind of bulk vintage, or just chunks from people. So like this front row is like pretty much all
knits.
vintage, you know.
And I know a couple of other resellers who do well off knits and that kind of thing, and they do well at this boot sale. So it's definitely worth going, like based on all different kinds of genres of picking. Does that make sense?
It totally does, and it also depends on what you're looking to pick up.
Well, we also like to pick up a lot of trainers in boot sale season, because trainers sell really fast and they sell really, I was gonna say they sell really quick, but you can pick them up really cheap. They require little to no fiddling around with, and we can basically use them as a cash flow source just by themselves.
Yeah, I was gonna say, name the last time you saw a pair of anything Nike branded, for example, because everyone knows the swoosh. No matter what age or what kind of background you are, in a charity shop for under £10. Doesn't happen anymore, does it?
I actually find it extremely hard to
source
sneakers or trainers from charity shops. And I know a lot of other people do
really
well, but I don't know, wait until you see my screensaver. You're going to see a lot of screensavers this season.
These are a pair of Air Max 97s. This lady had literally just told me they were a bit damp. That's what she's saying there with her hands. She just washed them. And to be honest with you, the fact she put them in the washing machine, the air bubbles were perfect. They're all still solid and all still clear. And they are lady size. They're all white with kind of like they all are all white. They look kind of grey in that light. But they'll go for around about a quick sale, £50, but retail they're like 120, 130, I think.
How much did you pay for them?
I paid £4. And I also took these NMDs. NMDs aren't exactly in fashion, so to speak. Adidas NMDs, they're boost-based trainers. They were very popular when kind of the Yeezy Boost was more popular and the Ultra Boost were more popular. They were like... I don't know, retail was maybe like just over £100 depending on the special edition. Not those. The ones on the grey ones on the kind of the desk there. But they'll go for at least they had one lace missing, so I just replaced the laces with grey laces. But they'll go, I would expect, I don't know, another 35 to 40 quick.
And we paid £4 for the 97s.
And £2.
And £2 for the NMDs.
Which, once again, where are you buying that in a charity shop?
No, you're not. You're just flat out.
You should just really, even without laces.
I'm going to listen tonight, and I guarantee they'll be gone by Tuesday afternoon.
100%.
At latest.
Speaking of Austin buying weird things,
I have to say, like, everyone knows me. I'm a massive, massive luxury head, and when he starts looking at figures, I bolt in the opposite direction. But we're leaving the footage in for all our toy sellers out there.
Yeah, and just people who I want other people to understand as well. Like with our picking in charity shops, once again, these aren't things you see very often in charity shops, and it's not like I don't necessarily look. But in charity shops, to be honest, not only you don't see them, but if you do, the prices so high, it's just pointless. Anyway, these are 3 Thundercats figures. One is Mumra, one is Rata, I think, and the one with the kind of the walrusy guy. I don't know his name.
He's a walrusy guy.
They weren't in the best condition. They didn't have all their bits. By the same token, I'll bundle the 3, and you'll still probably do, I don't know, around about 35, maybe 40 quid a push. I'll take 30, but they want you to £2 each, so it was £6 for the 3, and I said, will you take a £5? So 5 into like 3, into 30, 35. It's a bargain.
Austin is also going to photograph and list them all by himself.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen. Bethany's being sarcastic. What she's saying is she hates doing that as a job. I've left my phone and some money there. I feel awkward that's there right now anyway. Boom, boom. Thank you.
God, you're just a walking advertisement for please take my things.
Rob me, yeah.
Rob me. Anyway, so there is a lot of house clearances at this one. This is Froome Sandalwick, for anyone wondering. A lot of house clearance stuff, and as everyone knows, although I like to dabble in a bit of the older hard goods or the older decor pieces, it's not really our forte, if you know what I mean.
This was a Barber glasses, not sunglasses, but glasses box with a cloth. It was good condition. It was, I think, £1, and that should go for about 10, maybe even £15 for the right person.
$12.99.
There you go. Meet me in the middle.
I think $12.99 is fine.
But once again, even at the £10, like they aren't things which we necessarily like just put on to sell. Oh, you love this wet paint sign. It was actually from
advertisements.
Who was it from?
Dulux.
Dulux, yeah, that's cool. I'm just showing off the box again.
Oh, lovely.
What I was going to say was sometimes as well we pick up these boxes. If they don't sell in between time, we put them up because I don't think there's any point having stock just sat on a shelf not are listed, and then if they don't sell, we happen to pick glasses or sunglasses up from the brand, we just match them to those boxes, and you get kind of a better look and a better listing for their glasses.
These were some Asics. They had some bougie inner lined. What are they
just had deeper kind of insoles. They changed the insoles. I guess that they were actually underneath those insoles were the original Asics, so they kind of just double them up if you want, I guess, for size or whatever.
Boot sale pet peeve when people stick them in.
Yeah, it hurts my... Yeah, it actually sticks them in with glue. I asked how much they were, and I think he wanted £15. I was like so far away from £15 with these, so put them back. And I took them back very quickly and said, thank you very much. No problem, I'll put them back where they were. But no thank you, sir.
I feel like this is such a reseller video.
It is, but that's what a boot sale is.
I'm literally listening to you thinking, oh, Gucci, I need some Gucci.
I know.
Oh, I need some Versace.
And that does happen, but once again, this is the first boot sale.
We're warming up, guys.
Hang on, actually, they are. It's not exactly Gucci.
Christian I can't ever say his name.
Serrano.
He was actually
Tell who they were.
He was a contestant on Project Runway, and then he won it, and now he's a judge on Project Runway.
He's the guy with the glasses, with the short hair, who looks like he'd fit in your pocket.
He's super cute. And he makes couture dresses, etc. He did do a line of ready to wear, and then he does a sort of line of sort of like, I call it like Target fashion, like, you know, like budget.
Yeah. It kind of hurts my soul when people do that, because I think it does devalue your brand and your name. Not to the point that no one buys your mainline stuff, but I don't think it helps your branding, and I think that's a classic example.
Yeah, and
especially that kind of early in his career.
Yeah, I would be cautious when you're picking up his stuff, that you do make sure that you're getting the right line.
Yeah. Please don't pick it up and at us.
There's a huge difference in price between all three sections of the...
But like his high-end stuff is like uber expensive, isn't it?
Like tens of thousands of
pounds.
Pounds.
That's what I'm saying. I need you to talk me through this piece in a moment.
What, the mugs in my hand?
Not the mugs in your hand.
Oh, okay.
There's a mug sitting next to you.
I was looking at this. Austin does get a bit carried away with like how excited he gets at boot sales. So it takes me like sometimes about 25 hours for him to notice what I'm looking at.
I'm also like, I have to point out, I'm also like a 5-year-old. I have to touch and feel everything. I don't know why.
So this is a Molly Hatch tea caddy. It's a ceramic tea caddy, and it says, I don't know what it says on it, tea relieves something, and it came with a teaspoon, like, and not a physical teaspoon, a spoon to put the tea on.
Yeah,
like loose leaf.
Which was matching.
Yeah, Molly Hatch does do a line of mugs and ceramics for Anthropologie. Everyone knows I am a Anthropologie ceramics human.
We'll put the comp here.
But she obviously does have her own line. That actually retail for, I think it was between £35 and £45. However, it was discontinued, it sold out, etc. There's one listed for 150, and her stuff gets listed very high. There's none sold. There's only one. So I'm actually, for the first time in my whole life, I think 150 is unrealistic. I know, crazy. I know, it sounds like a really weird thing to say, but it's based on how much her mugs go for, plates, etc., and the fact there's no sold anywhere on the internet. I'm actually going to go for 50 to 60.
That's cool. That's a nice price though.
We paid four,
yeah. Just as you're watching, I picked up this game. I had this particular Pog game. I used to collect Pogs when I was younger.
God.
I used to have this Pog game when I was younger. I think I had one Christmas when I was like very young. I saw it. I remembered it. I wanted it. It doesn't go for a lot online. I think it'll go anything between about 25 and 40, depending on condition. Maybe 100 for a sealed one. But once again, it's more the fact I'm keeping it and it's for me. And it's weird, but it's true. There it is. Tea relieves you.
I made Austin go back.
Revives you? What did you say?
Oh, shush. I made Austin go back and get this after I had to like talk to him for about half an hour because he had too many like pogs in his head, and like Austin at a boot sale. If anyone wants to do my job for me and just take Austin to the boot sale, then that would be like great. I'll go with someone else.
Guys, go back and watch our boot sales video from last season. If Austin doesn't pick up more bangers than Bethany, right?
That's not true. No,
100%.
What you were clarifying is a banger, vintage toys or actual like good stuff.
Hang on. What did I find last year? We want to talk about it?
Well, we equally found a lot of things.
Okay, we'll go with that.
I'm going with that.
All right.
I mean, I don't want to embarrass you on national television.
This is a national television, so you go ahead.
Oh, now he's in the watches. Austin has this theory that he is going to find a I was going to say Rolex, but you're not really interested in Rolex. An Audemars Piguet.
So sorry, the people have heard before. What happened at one of the boot sales last year, Bethany?
Austin found an Audemars Piguet women's watch, and
solid gold,
and he
worth around about between 15 to 20,000 pounds.
I love how you just asked me to tell the story and then didn't let me even tell the story.
Crack on.
He found one. The lady stole it out of his hand and said, "No, that's not for sale. That's my grandma's watch. I meant to be taking it for a service." And she was very abrupt and very rude about it. I mean, Austin could have just stolen it. She didn't really she wouldn't have noticed until we asked what the price was, but it is what it is. Don't steal.
Saddest moment of all time in a boot sale, got to be, isn't it?
I don't know. I to be honest, at the time, I was just sort of like, once again, Austin's looking at the watches.
Okay, cool. Dr. Martens. These are the safety Dr. Martens, like the seal toe cap ones. That's I think
you need those ones.
Why?
Because you fall over all the time.
All right, cool. Moving on. These were £15. So drop them and run. Drop them and run, Austin. Drop them and run.
I don't like picking up the safety ones. They do go for good money. They still go for reasonable money. However, I don't personally like picking them up because I find they're a little bit of a harder sell because they got steel toe caps. Yeah. They're just clumpy. They're not a fashion shoe.
Say that word again.
Clumpy.
You can't is it clumpy or clumpy?
Austin, it is whatever I say it is.
I agree.
Thank you, sir. Those ones didn't have laces. Honestly, if I have to replace one more pair of laces on a pair of shoes, I'm gonna lose
why
it.
Is that though? Like, who's ever worn them or not worn them as a case, maybe with no laces, or taken them out and thought that'd be a move? Let's just take them out.
For the last few years, whenever I see a spare pair of Dr. Martens laces, I pick them up. So we've got like a whole box of them.
Yes, we have indeed. This is a knockoff Versace jeans couture tie. Let's just drop it and move on.
Well, you don't drop it and move on, do you? You carry on looking for about 10 minutes.
Because I wanted to see if there was anything good.
Once again, if anyone else wants to take Austin to the boot sale, please apply down below in the comments box. He's open to all offers.
Do you know how hurtful you're being right now?
Anyone.
My soul's aching. I want to travel. I'll be honest, there's no way I'm travelling anywhere.
He'll pay for expenses. Take him.
No, it's not happening. Not happening at all.
Equally, if anyone wants me, that's fine too.
Please.
Open to all
I'll pay you.
Open to all reasonable offers. On the plus side, how nice is that sunset? Look at that over the boot sale.
It's a sunrise, my dear. This is the morning and not the night.
That's what I meant. Everyone knew what I meant. I don't know about anyone else, but we like to go around boot sales 27 times before we decide that there is nothing left that we can buy.
Yeah, and also this store just kept coming with the various, knockoffs really. So we had to keep going back around to make sure there was nothing real.
This was a counterfeit Louis Vuitton. They also had some counterfeit Burberry. This happens a lot of boot sales. It's the, what's the word for it? It's
terrible.
It's the thing about boot sales. It's a great place to get rid of your counterfeits. I mean, at some boot sales, they just have full counterfeit stores and no one really cares. But otherwise, they, like market stores sort of vibes. Yeah. This is a counterfeit Louis Vuitton Murakami purse, which is worth a lot of money if you can find a real one.
You know what? I'm more interested in the counterfeit Murakami than I am the original Radley because they literally don't go for any money anymore at all.
They do.
No, certain pieces do. I'm Joshua when I say that.
It's not high. It's not like big boy money, but they do go for some money, and the picture bags can get quite a lot of money.
Yeah, they do.
However, there's just something. Firstly, it's not a high end brand. It's a high street brand. It's a high end high street brand. Even though prices are quite expensive, it's very much like similar to LK Bennett or like ones of that nature.
He's at it
Look,
again.
she's taking all the counterfeit off. Look.
Why?
Look, gone.
Oh no, she put them on the front.
Oh.
She's not. She
didn't like.
She is loud and proud. She get them on there. No one cares.
What are you looking at now? Out of interest, Austin?
I just said you don't listen to me. You don't listen to me. How funny is that? Sorry. I'm looking at cards. That's what I'm looking at right there.
Why are you looking at those cards?
Do you know what? Why the heck not? What is your problem? What is it? Talk to me. Tell me what your problem is. Just let me enjoy my life.
I've already said multiple times in this video, my problem is you.
Oh, okay. There's a knockoff Prada. I don't know what else to say.
I don't know. This was cool. It's a funny thing.
What is a funny thing?
Counterfeits at boot sales. And we get a lot of like, I bet you, someone comments, there's only counterfeits in my boot sales, and that's I know been to a boot sale, so that might be true. But we find so much luxury at boot sales. I love finding luxury at boot sales. It's my most favourite thing to do. There wasn't any at this boot sale, but it just because there is a lot of fakes doesn't mean there's not real things.
I'll tell you one reason there isn't much luxury at this particular boot sale, because most of these people who are selling. Most of them, not all, but most of them are
trade.
In which case, if they ever thought anything was authentic, they would be searching and checking and getting authenticated. That's why, as resellers, we would as well. You know what I mean?
So yes, sir.
This
is a Dunhill fragrance bag. Fragrance bags do quite well, and depending on which ones they are, some are more desired than others. For example, Christian Dior don't actually put perfumes on theirs anymore, so people use them as clutch bags or attach chains to them and like wear them normally as like accessories.
There was a whole random movement on Vestiaire actually, and I think the lady is still at large because I think what she's doing is terrible. But she would get these free bags from Dior, etc. Add a chain which costed like £4 or £5 from eBay, a replacement chain. Well, like their label is replacement chains, but obviously these never had chains in the first place, these bags. And she would charge 160 or 120 because technically they were authentic Dior, which they were, but they were authentic freebies. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And that's bad.
She would charge a lot of money for them, actually.
I just said like 120, 150.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't listening to you.
God, is this like role reversal tonight or what?
I don't know. I'm having a funny 5 minutes, I think.
I think it's this video.
I think getting up at like 5:30 has gone straight to my head.
No, I was actually going to say, grads picking up luxury boot sales. Some of the best pieces we've ever bought have been on stalls which also had knockoffs. And they've had a mixture of both, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, and that's why you should always check in the knockoffs, even though if you get the gist that it's a knockoff. I'm not saying the market stores will all brand new knockoffs. I don't mean those stores. I mean if you see a load of bags on the floor and most of them look like knockoff, just make sure they all are before you kind of just think, no, not for me.
Be savvy, kids.
Savvy.
It's hard out there. It's cold. It's early in the morning. You can do it. You can find the Gucci on the floor next to the plant feeder. Okay, so run through the brands as well while we're talking and not much is happening. You run through the brands, all joking aside, we've found at boot sales, and we'll go back and forth. Hit me with one. Prada.
Gucci.
Saint Laurent.
Mulberry.
I feel like I'm being tested. Cartier.
Givenchy Christmas pudding box.
Fendi. Found Fendi this one.
Fendi.
John Galliano this one.
John Galliano. Dior.
Miu Miu.
Longchamp.
I think the point of this is
that's what I'm saying.
Coach, a lot of Coach.
Yeah, so
Jimmy Choo's.
Vivienne
Westwood.
Yeah.
We found everything. You name it, we found it.
Basically, don't be scared to try and find luxury at boot sales, guys. We weren't so successful today. We bought some toys, but it was fun nonetheless.
There's another boot sale video coming though, because we went to 2 back-to-back and we found some interesting things at that one. So just wait for that.
That'll be on tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Bye.